real fast. Can we all do horns? Everybody get some horns. Hook some horns up. You don't have your horns yet, but we're going to give you fucking horns. Everybody here, give some horns. Horns for Lars, baby. Horns for Lars. All right, young Padawan, let's give it up for rockin' Lars Eller! Last one to finish their drinks, the rotten egg. Listen, so here's the deal. I had a bit of an awkward interaction the other day. I was at the gas station, I got 2 items. I got a 3-pack of condoms and a vanilla Coke. I did have to pay for it. Cashier's like, hey man, got any big plan? I'm like, what's it look like, dude? I'm about to fuck this vanilla Coke. I went to an Indiana Fever game the other day. That's the WNBA. And when I was there, I saw something that kind of pissed me off. The Jumbotron panned over to this kid that had a sign that said, "Marry me, Caitlin Clark." And everybody cheered for him. And I thought this was bullshit, because every time I show up to somebody's work with a sign that says "Marry me," they just slap on another restraining order. Anybody seen that new movie, Sinners? Anybody watch that yet? Yeah, my girlfriend and I watched that in the theaters, and we were talking about it on the way home. And I was like, man, that Michael B. Jordan, so talented to be able to play 2, twins in the same movie like that. And she was like, yeah, man, that Michael B. Jordan, I could watch him all day. Oh, with that pretty face. Oh, and those big bulging biceps popping out of that tight little wife beater. Oh. She's like, I'd like to be the wife he's beating on. And then the car went really fucking quiet. It went quiet for 2 reasons. Just because, that's some shit I would never do. You didn't see me coming out of the theater after watching Anyone But You, like, oh my god, that's Sydney Sweeney with her sexy eyes and big old fucking tits. You just didn't see it happen. I did. But deep down, what really hurt was, obviously I know I don't hold a candle to Michael B. Jordan, but she's implying I don't even hold a candle to him if he's got domestic violence issues. Anybody in here have like a clingy ex or somebody in their life they just can't get rid of? Mine's Duolingo. It's been 4 weeks since I've last done a lesson. I still get messages like, Duo misses you. Is it me? Did our streak mean nothing to you? I kid you not, 2 nights ago, it's around midnight, I did a message. It's from Duo. It says, you up? Got 5 minutes? I won't tell anyone. I'm thinking this thirsty little bird bitch is trying to ruin my fucking life. I immediately said, hell no, I deleted the app. Right? Just don't hit my line at midnight, clearly trying to fuck, talking about 5 minutes. That's ridiculous. You'll get 3, take it or leave it. This comedy shit, man, I've been doing it for a little bit now. I have a goal now of just trying to get more comfortable on stage. Nothing was as worse as that first time. Like, I remember I tried to call my brother and did a little pep talk, a little words of encouragement before the show. And I was just like, hey man, dude, I'm really freaking out, what if I'm not funny? What if it goes bad? He immediately cut me off. He's like, dude, you're not fucking funny at all. He's like, you've literally sucked at every fucking thing you've done. What is gonna make this any different? And, he's like, you're probably gonna bomb, but if that's the case, make it one of the more memorable bombings people have seen. Make them put it up there with Pearl Harbor, Hiroshima, Gaza. I'm like, chill out, man, you're gonna get us canceled saying shit like that. But my brother's always said some out-of-pocket shit, you know? I mean, one time we went to a 4D movie theater. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but like, they strapped us in our seats, and then we watched a movie about a tornado, and as the tornado got closer, they would shake our seat around and blow artificial wind to make it like a more immersive experience. And I've always been a bit of a sci-fi guy, so as I left, I was like, hey man, how cool would it be if they made Star Wars in this shit? And he was like, I don't know about all that, but what if we took World War II survivors to see Dunkirk in this? Eh? No? I feel like I'm losing it. I used to get bullied as a kid, right? And I used to get bullied for like 3 main reasons. One, I've always walked on my toes. And historically, this has been a big fucking deal to everybody other than me. And the second thing is that I've had a bad speech impediment with my R's, L's, and S's. They're pretty fucking inconvenient considering my name's Lars. Last thing I get made fun of for is I couldn't stop asking everybody if they had seen my new favorite documentary, Justin Bieber's Never Say Never. You know, the bros hadn't gotten around to it just yet. But, you know, one day things got real bad, man. I went home to my mom. I was like, Mom, the kids are saying mean things. She said, next time one of those motherfuckers says something to you, you turn around, you look them right in the eye, and you say, oh yeah? Yo mama. So needless to say, things got, like, much fucking worse, you know? Like, I wasn't clocking to her that I was standing on business, you know? I knew I had to take matters into my own hands, so the next day she sees me walking to the bus. I'm walking like this. She says, hey, come here. I say, okay. I get over to her. She spins me around. She lifts my shirt up. She lets out a disappointed sigh. She removes the nunchucks I hid in my ass crack and sent me on my way for another 9 years of bullying. That's just who my, you know, mom is, man. That's just the type of advice she's always been giving me, you know, my whole life. My dad was a different story, man. My dad flew a different migration path. See, anytime my dad would give me advice, it would sound something like, son, don't you ever in your fucking life turn down a blowjob from a fat chick. I remember hearing this, I'd be like, damn, dude, that's pretty rude. Like, you shouldn't say shit like that, you know? I mean, saying fat chicks, it kind of makes you sound like a douchey frat bro. You know, you should address them as fat ladies like a goddamn gentleman. You know, but nevertheless, I hear this advice. I didn't know what to do with it, man. I was 8. 8 years old, I didn't know what the fuck a blowjob was. I thought it was just... It wasn't until I got older and wiser that I found out what one was, and there's no way in hell I'm going to turn one down. You know? Other than those times at Paul's house. Listen, man, I got a cousin Rob. My cousin Rob has Down syndrome. I don't know what your guys' dynamic was with your cousins, but growing up we'd always rip on each other, and Rob was no exception. You know, and I tell you, I stopped fucking with him because one day I went up to him, I said some stupid shit, like, I don't know, I think I called him Robert Downey III or something. And he didn't like that too much, and he knows I'm insecure about my financial situation, so he reaches deep in his pockets, he walks over to me, he treats me like a Miami stripper, he just throws that wad on me, he says I may be down, but I'm up, broke bitch. And I'm not in the position where I can't, like, not pick up these bills. So, I'm hunched over doing one of these numbers. And everybody in the mall parking lot just saw my cousin Rob in his oversized John Cena t-shirt and George just fucking stun on my ass and then flip-flop away. You know? I like to try to work on my one-liners while I fill up my beer. So if I could go ahead and do that for you tonight. I don't know if I might be too drunk for it. Hey, put a firearm in a slut's hands. Call him gun-ho. Right? Yeah? I've been reading a novel about a 97-year-old prostitute. Talk about oldest trick in the book. That's what I'm talking about. I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast the other day, and he often sniffs smelling salts on there, and I've noticed that every time he does, it kind of sounds like an old man coming. You know, he'll take a whiff and he'll be like, oh! Oh! Paul sounds the exact same way, so I know because Paul's came on my face. Listen, here's the deal, man. I have a dog, but recently I had to change my dog's name to R. Kelly. You know, because he wouldn't stop pissing on kids at the park. Right? R. Kelly's kind of a freak, but whatever. You know, I hear Diddy's getting off. You know, as if Diddy hasn't been getting off this whole fucking time. You know, I feel like we're gonna talk to our kids about the Diddy trial the same way that my parents talked to us about the OJ trial. Just kind of like, if I had to bet, I'd say he did it. And Diddy getting off, man, I don't think that's a good thing, but it's not entirely bad, you know? I mean, freak-offs are back on the table. Kristen's freaky ass is ready, dude. He told me, he said, I got a box of Sam's Club baby oil in my trunk right now. What the fuck are we doing? I do appreciate, you know, the people that tried to warn us, the celebrities that kind of knew about Diddy's actions. You know, 50 Cent has been pretty vocal, and one that kind of like flew under the radar was Kid Rock. Like, you guys remember when Kid Rock tried to warn us about Diddy? You know, he made that song about Usher. It's one of the hits, right? Balls in his jaw, I banged, Diddy, Diddy. You know? It's even worse because that song starts out going, I am a king. Yikes. Yikes. I work at Applebee's in Bloomington. So if you're ever up there and you order the Oriental chicken salad, can you please stop calling it the Chinese chicken salad? It's a really fucking uncomfortable time for me. And also, if you've got a gluten allergy, will you just stay the fuck home? You know, God hates you and so do I. Alright? Fuck off. And stop bringing your annoying ass kids in there, bro. If they're drinking apple juice, fuck them. They don't get the 2 for $25. Anyway, anybody in here have Snapchat? Yeah? I just turned 24. Listen, this is a bit of a hot take. I feel like I'm too old for Snapchat. You know, I get that's a hot take, but to me, Snapchat was made so 13-year-olds can talk to 13-year-olds. But eventually you stop being 13, but I'm still assuming you're talking to 13-year-olds. You know, I mean, you're showing me a Snapchat QR code, but all I see is a boarding pass for Epstein's Island. They swear they don't have a list. You know, it sounds like me when I ate too many cookies, like growing up. I'd be like, Mom, I swear, I would tell you if I ate these fucking cookies. Anyway, so 24, man, I feel like I'm too old for Snapchat, but you know, I got things that I still feel like I'm too young to be doing. Like I got a buddy who likes to talk about stocks, and that's pretty fucking unbearable, you know? I mean, we're two guys in our 20s, and we go back to when guys in their 20s talked about pussy and baseball. You know, is that too much to ask? But I've developed a pretty good plan, you know, pretty good method to change the subject anytime he wants to talk stocks. See, anytime he brings up stocks, I bring up a loaded pistol and put it in my fucking mouth. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's a bit extreme, but hear me out. That'll change the subject about 7 out of 10 times. 7 out of 10. I'd like to say a big shout out to the people that came out today. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you to the comedians. You know, I got my best friend here. I told him as soon as I started doing comedy, he's like, dude, I'm gonna learn film editing. We're taking this to the moon. You know, I got a lot of people out here supporting me. My beautiful girlfriend, who tells me when my jokes are shit. Like, don't you dare say that. But you know, I got my grandparents here. They came down from Indy to watch me. It's their first time getting to see me. It's nice to get to catch up with them because my grandma and I have always connected, you know, about the newest movies and whatnot. So we'll dish on what's came out. And, you know, my grandpa has always been pretty big into Bigfoot and UFOs. So I thought he'd be pretty interested to hear about how I got ass fucked by an alien. He was pretty disappointed to find out it was during an orgy at one of those deportation camps. I'm tired of seeing Southern white women do charity work. It's like, why are you Facebook Living the whole thing? You know, I watched one the other day and it was like, since Jesus has blessed my life so much, I decided to come out here today and give back to the less fortunate. Here in my purse, I have a fat stack of $20 bills that my husband and I definitely did not embezzle from the local school district. And we're going to be handing them out to the less fortunate. It's fucking annoying. I know this isn't really the time for it, but I wrote a song. Can I just go ahead and do that? Listen, I've never wrote a song before, so lower your expectations. It's not going to be anything great, but I've been working on it for a little bit. I just want to share it with you. I got only a little bit, right? Shit, I'm nervous. Fuck. All right. Just a small town girl living. Oh, so that bombed. All right. Yeah, that's one of those my girlfriend said. Don't fucking do that, dude. It's not funny. Anyway, I got a little bit more for you, and then I'm gonna get out of here. All right. I don't get too political, but I got one political joke for you. I know everybody in here is gonna get pissed off as soon as I say it. Chill out. Does anybody in here think J.D. Vance looks like a mix between a serial killer and the doll you show where the bad man touched you at? And the bad man that touched you? Right? Like, I'm not saying it's okay that his mom beat the shit out of him, but like, I get it. You know? I mean, I think J.D. Vance looks like the poster child for the cuck chair. You know, the one that sits in the corner of the hotel room while you watch your wife get fucked? That one. Anyway, that's about as political as I get, you know. I mean, I don't really do too much of that, but my mom's just entered into her political era, if you will. And she's been going up to Bloomington to go to political gatherings, because you guys don't have too many political gatherings outside of the Klan. And, so she's been going up there, right, and she's been enjoying it. We were at my grandma's birthday the other day, and she's like, you know, I was up there, I had a sign, it said felon, but it also said F Elon, because I'm fucking clever. You know, but she's like, it didn't stop there. I had my chance, right? I was like, hands off my pussy. Can't grab me by my pussy. My grandma cut her off and she's like, listen, the days of strangers grabbing you by your pussy while you're out and about, probably behind you, you know. You know, you should leave that chant for the younger crowd. My brother chimes in, he's like, yeah, I hear them politicians tend to like the younger crowd, if you know what I mean. Epstein and shit. It's kind of a big risk telling you guys that joke, you know. If you don't laugh, I'm just some weirdo up here talking about his mom's vagina. Not a good look.
I like it.
I was on Twitter the other day, and I saw that the common consensus is that you're either good at bowling or you're good at sex. And last week I bowled a 233, so I don't know if I should join the league or fucking kill myself. I have been doing this thing to try to get better at sex, you know? I've been giving out surveys after sex. You know, I've got some feedback. Does anybody want to hear feedback? Make some noise. A little bit more. Thank you. First one just says meh. Second one says fruit stripe zebra gum lasts longer. And the third one, and like I'm still pretty confused by this, just says not my Amazon order. I don't know what the fuck that means, you know? And I'm a big fan of privacy, you know, I like for these to be submitted anonymously. Though I only did have sex with my girlfriend, so I have a feeling I know who's leaving these nasty reviews. I get nervous sometimes that my girlfriend's gonna leave me, you know, and it's not just like general insecurity. I got my reasons, you know, as you could imagine. Probably hard to deal with, but I can't stop doing DJ Khaled ad-libs. You know, we'll be out and about at the grocery store, and I'll be like, another one. Or we'll be at home, and I'm like, are the Drake vocals in yet? You know, but things really came to a head when we were at her cousin's funeral. You know, I mean, it was a sad moment. We're all gathered around the casket. Everybody's telling stories, and at a point, the aunt breaks down and she says, nobody expected you to go this early. God did. Listen, I kind of fucked up the other day, right? I was on Instagram, I was scrolling through Reels. I came across one that said, if you're not a bitch, send this to somebody you've masturbated to. I've never backed down from a challenge, so boom, boom. Couple clicks later, it's sent. Let me fucking tell you, that rattled the family group chat. I just sent that bitch off. I said, y'all got 2 guesses. You know, let me ask you, why'd my uncle like it? And then respond with me, question mark? And the emoji that looks like, Listen, like I said, I worked at Applebee's, and one time I told this old lady that I did stand-up comedy, and she said, I couldn't imagine thinking I was that special. So I punched her in the fucking face. So listen, the point of this, what I'm trying to say is, I think we should believe in ourselves, you know, and chase our dreams. This comedy shit, this is my dream. I love it. I've been doing it since February. You know, I'll keep doing it, you know, whenever I go to Houston. But, you know, I think it's important to follow our dreams. If you want to be in the NBA, go pursue that. You know, if you want to design websites, go pursue that. If you want to jerk off on camera, fucking be careful, dude. You know, be careful. That's what my buddy wanted to do. You know, that was his idea, but he didn't use his own camera. He used the ones in the entryway of the Walmart. You know? Fucking Pop's got him, right? Obviously, Pop's got him. And he uses his phone call. He calls me up. He says, hey, man, oh, my. Kind of embarrassing, but it happened again. Thank you, guys. That's my time. We're doing karaoke and shit afterwards.